Alright, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be playing a new game that I've been developing. Codename is Precision Baseball. And this is the first time I've actually shown the game on camera. I've been kind of referencing it on Facebook groups, but I think the game is in a good place, and at least a good enough place now with enough charts in place to be able to show a full game. So in this one, it's going to be, I only have the 2022 season carded at this point, so I'm going to go, and actually, only the first part with everything. So I'm still working on the fielding ratings for the rest of the league. I think I'm on the, I'm somewhere around Cincinnati or Detroit, somewhere around there. So top third of the league. And in this game, I'm going to play the Cubs at home, taking on the Braves. And it's going to be Marcus Stroman facing off against Max Fried. So you can see a couple of number ones for each team. And I'll sort of briefly walk through the game as I play it. But it's not like a deep dive or anything like that into the game. The game is pretty straightforward anyway. But I think you'll catch up with it as we go along. So what you need for the game, and you can roll traditional dice. So you're going to need one d6. It's a 50-50, like a true 50-50 game, so you're going to need some sort of decider die. A d6 is easy. And then you'll need 3 d10s. So one is going to have to be for the hundreds plates, one for the tens, one for the ones place. So very similar to what you might do with season ticket baseball. So if you wanted to do red, white, and blue, that's easy for a lot of people to remember, or whatever colors you want. It'll just need to be the same. You'll need to read it in the same order every time. So like this would be a 301, and that's a 301. So that's how you would read the results. You can see here that our results are broken up into 1 to 1000s. That's the rolls, excuse me, and so that's sort of the baseline for the game. I did create a digital helper here. Just lets me keep track of outs and score, base running situations, so I can just remove runners or whatever. And then when I roll, I'm going to get the d6 plus each of the d10 rolls in order. I don't have to worry about trying to like read them in order. But if you like regular dice, certainly plays exactly the same. You'd even be able to use something like this, just your rolling dice. I find that this is quieter. It also, I play early in the mornings, so it's quieter. Or if I'm at the table with everyone, I can play without bothering them with dice rolls. And also, it saves a little bit of space. I don't need quite as much room to be able to play. Makes it a little bit more portable, I think, as well. So let's go through the lineups. The Braves have Acuna in right, Swanson at short, Olsen at first, Riley at third. Albies is playing second. Ozuna is the DH. Adam Duvall in left. William Contreras is the catcher. And then Michael Harris, the second, is in center field. It'll be Max Fried, the lefty, on the mound. And he's facing off against Ortega in center. Contreras, so we got the Contreras brothers playing each other. He is catching. Suzuki is in right field. Happ is in left. Horner is the shortstop. Patrick Wisdom at third. Frank Schwindel is the DH. Rivas is going to be at first. And then Nick Madrigal is playing second base. On the mound for the Cubs is going to be Marcus Stroman. And we have Stroman's card here. And then we have our Braves players here. I've just printed them on both sides, so this should give us all of the players that we need. I think there may be 2 or 3 more on the next sheet, but they're definitely bit players. And I have the others over here. The last components that we need are these different components here. So I have a player finder that we'll use basically on every play when there's a ground ball, fly ball, or line drive. We have a grounded into double play chart. We have a double play chart. So this is when you're Doing a double play check on the defense. This is when you're doing a grounded into double play check on the offensive player. So two different types of deciding, did a ground ball happen. The outfield throw kill chart, I haven't really used much. Still trying to figure out how all these things necessarily work together, because we have a base running tag up chart here that's based off of the base runners. And that's based on their base running. We have their base running stats here, or their values, I guess. You can see Michael Harris the second overall, +6 base runner, +3 in steals, +3 running. Running is like this part, taking extra bases, tagging up, that type of thing. And then he's a +1 on the grounded into double plays, which means he's better than average at avoiding double plays. So we have steals of second, steals of third, steals of home. And again, based off of their stealing ratings. And that I've been combining the stealing ratings with let's see, we don't have a catcher on here, but the catchers also have an arm rating. So I've been sort of combining those two. So the better the catcher arm, that lowers the running rating, which could put you into a different column. We have our ground balls chart here. This is normal depth. I'm also working on an infield in ground balls chart. This looks pretty complicated. There is a little bit of a key down here on the back side. But this is basically graded out by position. So ground balls to each position. So this is the shortstop here. You have all of your roles. I've actually graded this out as you can use 2D10s, you can use 2D6s, or you can use 3D10s, which is what we are doing for this game. But I did that so that if you wanted to try to use this for a different game, you could do that, or if you wanted to add it on to a different game, you could do that as well. Basically, it just gives you direction on what to do, what plays to make, what things to check whenever there are particular base out situations. So runner at first only, second only, first and second, third only. Excuse me. So these are your base out situations here, each column, and then you just roll against that, and then you can see, what to do. Again, the symbols are talked about here and what those mean, and then you have that for each infield position. For fly balls, again, I only have normal depth at this point. What fly balls are determining is, does the gamer have the decision to go or not go, to tag up or not tag up? Must the runners stay, which is the red, and then on the green, the runners have to go. So you're going to wind up doing some sort of a check on that. And then for line drives, basically you're checking double plays. You could ignore that part. You're checking for double plays. So does the runner have to go? Does the runner stay? Again, that's going to be the gamer's decision on some of these. So like if there's a line drive to left with a runner at first base and you roll, let's say, a 1, then the gamer has the decision, do they want to try to advance to second base? So on the outfield, it's advancing and going or staying. On the infield, it's double plays. So which I haven't reflected down. Oh yeah, I did. So double play check. So each of the infielders has the opportunity to catch a line drive, except for a catcher. So each of the infielders has an opportunity to catch a line drive. If they hit on the green square, then that's going to be a line drive double play. So that's automatic. If it's a yellow square, then it's a double play check. So then you'll check to see, was there a double play on the lead runner? And then if it's red, then there's no double play. It's just a line out and the runners hold. So try to think through some of the common things that you would need to decide on those. So these are going to be off to the side. I'm going to have them over here. I'll be referencing them, but if a play comes up, then I'll probably show it. But otherwise, I'm just going to kind of be referencing, especially this chart here with the player finder. So you can see each of the players has an opportunity to make a line drive out. Most of the players, all the players have an opportunity to make a fly ball out. These infield positions are pop-ups, obviously. And then there's just our infielders are able to make a ground ball out. So let's get into this one. The game plays pretty quickly, especially when there's nobody on base. Once you start to get runners on base, then you have to kind of sort of check and see how the play goes. It is important, and I'll show you. It is important even with 2 outs. I like to check this because it gives you a 2-out option here. So let's say we have a runner at first base, and our roll is 600. So we're in this space here. It says 643 double play, but because there are 2 outs already, then we have this parentheses. So there's an actual result in the parentheses. And so it's good to see what that result is, because some of these are 6-3, so I'll throw to first. Some are going to be the short way, 6-4, so to the short or the second baseman. So it's it's helpful to go ahead and do that. Just if you want to have some variation to the game. If you don't care and you just want it to be a little bit quicker, then every time there's 2 outs and a ground ball, you go to first, right? All right, so we got Atlanta at Chicago. And it's going to be Acuna, Swanson, and Olsen. And they are leading off against Marcus Stroman. Stroman, right-hander. 23 is his stamina. And stamina just means average batter's face per game that he got into. And that's going to be just a number. It's a value. You can use it as a hard number. At 23, he has to come out. Or I like to say, if he starts an inning past his stamina, then you would consider removing him. Obviously, if he's throwing a no-hitter or he's throwing a great game, or they're up by a lot, you can just leave them in. Most of these guys have the ability to go 6, 7, 8, even 9 innings. So, okay. So about leading off is Acuna. Acuna is all the way over here. And hopefully you can see that. So we're just going to roll. And the first number here is our decide or die, right? So 1 to 3 is going to go to the batter. 4 to 6 to the pitcher. So we have a 3 that's going to go to the batter, and then the roll is a 321. So we go to Acuna. A 321 falls into his fly ball range. We're going to roll again. We get a 367. And you can see a fly ball to 367 is going to be a fly ball to left. The only time I have an error is if when you're checking the player finder number here, and this number is 3 of a kind. So if this was 333, then that would be an error on the fielder. Otherwise, they make the catch. Just sort of simplicity's sake right now, I haven't made a chart for that. So we got 1 out, and Dansby Swanson coming to the plate. You can also use this, as a directional sort of thing. So that would be a, well, you don't need it if you got this. So never mind on that. You can use that when there's a hit. You can use it for directional purposes, but we have a fly out to left field, and that's going to be out number 1. So Swanson is up, again off of the batter. 569 for Dansby is going to be a strikeout. So Stroman with the K. And that's 2 quick ones in the first inning. This time it's off the pitcher card, a 477. 477 off Stroman's card is a line drive. And that's going to be an 894. A line drive to right field. Suzuki makes the play. And 3-3 down. Go the Braves in the first. And we head to the bottom of the first inning. It's going to be Atlanta ups. Got Freed here. And he'll be facing off against Ortega, Contreras, and Suzuki. So Ortega, center fielder. This is off the pitcher card. A 210 is going to be a ground ball. And that goes to 483. 483 is going to be a ground ball to the shortstop. So swants it over to first. That's one out in the inning. 570. This is off Contreras' card. A 570 is going to be a strikeout as Fried gets him. 2 down now. And a 682 off of Fried's card is going to be back-to-back Ks to shut down the inning. And Max Fried gets out of that. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on for the Cubs. And we head to the top of the second inning. Still no score, and it's going to be Riley, Albies, and Ozuna for the Braves. 344 to Riley. 344 to Riley is going to be a line drive. That goes to the center fielder. So a line out to center. And who's playing center? Ortega. Ortega makes the play out there for out number 1. This will be a 218. That goes to Albies. Albies is a switch hitter, batting left-handed against Stroman. And that does come into play a little bit with extreme lefty sort of tendencies. A 218 is going to be a fly ball. Yeah, that's a fly ball to center. Settling under it is Ortega. He makes the play for out number 2. And then Ozuna. This is off the pitcher card. A 105 is going to be a grounder, and that's a ground ball to the third baseman. Wisdom up with it. Over to first. Another 3 up, 3 down inning for Stroman, and we head to the bottom of the second inning. Still no score. Up for the Cubs is going to be Half, Horner, and Patrick Wisdom. 837. Okay, so this is coming off of the pitcher card, and we have a 798 to 1,000 is going to be a hit. So when we run into this result here, we need to go back to let's see, it's half. We need to go to the batter's card, and we need to look in this box right here. These are your sort of normal when it comes off the batter card, but then you can see your base hits are down here, and we have this box here for, this is how many singles per hit. So this is how many singles per plate appearance. This is how many singles per hit. So when we know that it's a hit, we come back and we check this box here. It's a 364, so that's going to be a single for Ian Happ off of the pitcher. That's sort of how that is figured out. Pitcher lays one in there, and sort of a pitcher mistake, you get the hit off of him. So Ian Happ at first. Happ is not a great base stealer, so I'm not going to try that. But we got Nico Horner to the plate. Nobody out and 1 on. That's an 11 to the pitcher, so 1 to 258 is going to be a ground ball. Okay, so we get a chance to see where did the ground ball go. 893 is going to be a ground ball to third base. So we just kind of walk our way through this. So we're going to have a ground ball to third base. We have a runner at first. So we're checking against this column here. A 551 is here. So it says 5-4 double play check. This is if there's 2 outs. So a 5-4 double play check. So we're going to go Riley to Albies first, and we're checking the fielder. So a double play check is on the fielder. So Riley's double play is going to be a -1. And then we go to our double play chart here. We have a -1. So it's a double play if we hit in one of these green areas here. The roll is a 1000. You can see it's red for the -1, so no double play turned. But they do get the lead runner at second base. So we're going to go 5-4 on the fielder's choice. That'll be out number 1 as Horner beats it out at first base. So you can tell the game slows down just a little bit whenever there are runners on the bases, because you're trying to figure out, you know, what's possible and what can be done. Here is an 899 to the batter. This could be good for Patrick Wisdom. 899 is going to be a double as he laces one into the gap. And that's going to initially push the runner to third base. Horner is a 0 on his running. Basically a hit 1, 2, 3, like left center field. Let's figure it out here. Because basically we have our extra base, taking extra bases here. Horner is a 0, so right now he's in this column. Michael Harris's arm is a +1, so that's going to drop him down to a -1. So he stays in this column here. Let's go ahead and try to score him. So basically we have this situation here. We're going to try to score this guy from third, and we need to roll against this column here to take the extra base. So that's going to be anywhere from 211 to 840 is going to be safe at home. And of course he gets thrown out on the relay. 070 is here, and this is our column as Nico Horner erased at the plate, and that's going to leave a runner at second base, and so he is gunned down, and we'll just call that 862. How about that? So we got 2 down, Patrick Wisdom at second base, and the Cubs in danger of running themselves out of an inning here. But they're being aggressive and trying. It's going to be Frank Schwindel to the plate. A 634 is going to be a strikeout as Fried shuts down the inning and dances through the raindrops. He doesn't give up any runs in that one, even though he gives up 2 hits. Yeah, it's a tough one for the Cubbies. We're going to hit to the top of the 3rd inning. Still no score. Stroman back out to face the Braves. He's yet to give up a hit to this Atlanta offense. 561 to Duvall. It's going to be a strikeout for Adam Duvall. Brings up William Contreras. 203 to Contreras will be a fly ball. And that's a fly ball out to, actually it's a pop up to third. So we'll go P5 on that. Under it is Patrick Wisdom. He makes the 2nd out of the inning. And it's going to be a 553 to Michael Harris II. 553 is going to be a strikeout. So a couple bookend strikeouts that inning for Stroman. And he is cruising along. 3 innings, no hits so far for the right-hander. Go to the bottom of the 3rd, still no score. And Fried will be facing off against the top of the bottom of the order, Rivas, and then Madrigal, and then back to the top. The pitch to Rivas, left-handed first baseman. 343 is going to be a line drive, and that goes to the left fielder. So as he drives it the opposite way, Duvall's there in left to make the catch for out number 1. Brings up the 9th place hitter, Nicky Madrigal, a 160 to Madrigal. Hopefully, doesn't look like we have him. I don't have Madrigal. I guess I should have done that first. Well, who can we use? Let's just use Yolmer Sanchez. Why not? He's a second baseman. So we'll use Sanchez here. So 160 is going to be a ground ball, and that ground ball is going to go to 559. That will be a grounder to short. So I was going deep into the roster there. Have one more page to go. I didn't play with Madrigal in the first game, but I played between these two. So it's going to be Ortega to the plate. He grounded out to short his first time up. This goes to Max Fried. That's going to be a 2-out hit for Ortega. And a 657 is going to be a single. So 2-out knock for Rafael Ortega, as he is at first base. He is not a threat to steal, just a -1, so not going to do anything with him here. Brings up Contreras, Wilson Contreras, 661. That's off of the batter card. 661 is going to be a walk as he draws a 2-out walk, and with 2 down, the Cubs have something going here. Looking for a big 2-out hit from Suzuki. 656 from Seiya Suzuki. That's going to be just inside the K range as Fried gets him, and that's going to be out number 3. So Fried gets through more trouble in the third, and we head to the top of the 4th inning. Still no score between the Cubs and the Braves. Which team will blink first? That's the question. Stroman out, 3 scoreless innings, no hits so far. As we head to the top of the 4th inning, he's facing off against Acuna, Swanson, and Olsen. Let's see if they can get to him the second time around. For Acuna, a 431 is going to be a strikeout, and that's an 0 for 2 start for Ronald, as he is out number 1. A 712 to Dansby Swanson is going to be a walk. So Swanson on board with the base on balls. Also not a real threat to steal, so we'll just let Olsen swing away here. And 715, that goes to Olsen. 715 is going to be another walk, so back-to-back walks from the Braves hitters, as they got a situation now with runners at first and second, only 1 down. And let's see if Riley can avoid the double play. 744, that goes to Stroman. That's going to be another walk. This one off of the pitcher. And so Stroman losing his control here a little bit in the 4th. And that's going to put a Brave at every base with Ozzie Albies coming to the plate. 127 is going to be a ground ball. Chance to get out of this for Stroman. The ground ball goes to 531, which is going to be a grounder to the shortstop. And so we're looking at our shortstop table here. Bases loaded. And 575 is going to be sort of this common one here. 643 double play automatic. With 1 out, no run scores. And that's going to be just a killer for the Braves. So it's here, out number 2, out number 3, and Stroman, the magician, gets out of that one. Bases loaded, 1 out, and he gets the ground ball that he needs. As they go Horner to Madrigal to Rebus. Tough break for the Braves in that inning, and we head to the bottom of the 4th. Cubs and Braves tied at 0 at the friendly confines, the corner of Clark and Addison in the great city of Chicago. It's a beautiful summer day. And the sun is out, a little breeze off the lake. The air and water show is coming up here in the city, and I went to Wrigley and sat on the third base side, which overlooks the lake. And they were practicing for the air and water show, so it had to be, this time of year, like late June or late July. And you could just see the airplanes, the jets, like going across the lake practicing. It was a pretty cool experience, and this is a beautiful time. If you want to go to Chicago, now is the time. It's in the 80s, 90s. Really nice outside and cooler down by the lake. So that's my spiel for my city. So we have bottom of the fourth inning. And it's going to be Maxwell Fried facing off against Hap Horner and Patrick Wisdom. Hap 1 for 1. He had a single in his last at bat. This time, no such luck. He's got a fly ball, and the fly ball goes out to second base. So Albies, Albies is under it, and that's going to be out number 1 as the second baseman puts it away for the first out. Brings up Nico Horner on with the fielder's choice in his first at bat. It's a 458, but this is going to be off of Fried's card, so that's going to be a line drive. And that will be caught by the left fielder as Horner rips one to left, but out there to catch it is Duvall. He makes a nice play for out number 2. And that will bring up Patrick Wisdom. Wisdom doubled in his last at bat. On the double, Horner got thrown out at the plate, and that's why we're still scoreless in the fourth. Excuse me. So we got a 116 off the batter or the pitcher, and that's going to be a ground ball. That goes to the third baseman, and with nobody on, we'll just go 5-3 on that. So 1-2-3 inning for Maxwell Fried as he shuts down the Cubs in the fourth. Still no score, waiting for the first run, and let's see if it comes in the fifth. For the Braves, it's going to be the middle of the order: Ozuna, Duvall, and Contreras. Actually, middle bottom, and these guys are combined 0-4. The Braves have no hits so far. They've also been no hit by Justin Steele in the last game I played, which was crazy. What are the odds of 2 no-hitters coming back to back? All right, 195. That is going to come off of Ozuna's card, and that will be a fly ball. Fly ball 165, so that's going to be a pop up to second. Into shallow right field goes Nick Madrigal. He'll make the play for out number 1. Brings up Adam Duvall. This is going to be a hit off of Stroman. And let's see what kind of hit it is. A 966. That could be a jack. As Duvall gets behind one, lifts it high into center field, and a 966. That's going to be out of here as Adam Duvall breaks up the no-no, breaks up the shutout with a deep fly ball to center field off of Marcus Stroman, and that's going to give the visitors a 1-0 lead. And we'll bring up William Contreras. 218 to Contreras. A 218. Oh, he was on the other page. 218 to Contreras is going to be a fly ball. Fly ball goes to center field. This one's going to stay in the park though, and that'll be out number 2. You can see here that Contreras has a label called versus left. So what happens is if he is facing a left-handed pitcher, then he will automatically get control of the at bat. So you don't even have to look at the whether the pitcher or the batter has control. So there are a couple of those guys. Riley is another one, and that statistic comes from their they had a 400 WOBA, so weighted on base average. They had a 400 WOBA against left-handed pitching in 2022. And there's only a handful of players, maybe a dozen or so, who got that versus left batting statistic. Some of the pitchers also have it. You can see Dylan Lee and AJ Minter, a couple of tough lefties. So whenever they're facing a left-handed batter, they will get control of the at-bat every time. So interesting little kind of ways to do splits without having to do full-on splits for everything. So to me, that's when it matters the most. You really want to know, if I bring this guy in, am I going to be able to get an advantage, some sort of advantage? So I like to only give those things to players who have a true advantage. 75% of the time, there is no advantage actually. Statistically, there's no advantage. Probability, maybe there's an advantage, but statistically it doesn't come out that way. So I'd rather for statistically to be an advantage, so that when you do pull a right-hander to put in a left-hander to face a left-hander, that it actually means something. It's not just total luck of the draw or whatever. Sometimes when you make those moves, it feels like it didn't work the way it's supposed to, which I know it doesn't work all the time, but for the majority of the time, that's why people do it, because it works. So my little spiel. 2 outs, 1 already in, and we got Michael Harris the second. He is up against Marcus Stroman. He struck out in his first at bat. A 480. This is off of Stroman's card, and this is going to be a line drive, and that goes to the first baseman. So Harris hits it hard, but he hits it right at Rivas. And the Braves take a 1-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning at Wrigley Field. Maxwell Fried still on the mound for the Braves. He can go 24 batters before we have to start thinking about him getting tired. He is at not even 18 yet, so doing well. And he's got Schwindel, Rivas, and Madrigal, bottom of the order for the Cubbies. 476 to Schwindel is going to be a line drive, and that goes to the right fielder. So Schwindel with a rip to right, but Ronald Acuna is there, and he makes the play for out number 1. Brings up Rivas, the first baseman. A 431 off of Fried's card, another line drive. So hit hard, but this time right at the left fielder, and Rivas going the other way. That's going to be out number 2. 9th place hitter is Nick Madrigal. He grounded out in his last at bat. Again, we're using, I didn't have him on here, but so we're going to use Yolmer Sanchez. 424 is going to be a line drive. 3 line drives in this inning, and that one will be to center field. So we had a line drive to every outfielder. 3 up, 3 down go the Cubs in the bottom of the 5th inning. And coming up in the top of the 6th, it's going to be top of the order. So Acuna, Swanson, and Olsen, who are a combined 0 for 4. All right. Swanson is at 18 batters. He can go 23. So if he gets a quick inning here, he can get him maybe through 7. Long inning maybe through 6. First pitch to Acuna, that's going to be a ground ball. The ground ball goes to the shortstop. Nico Horner is up with it over to first in time, and Ronald is now 0 for 3. Brings up Dansby Swanson. 448 to him is going to be a strikeout. Swanson with the second K of the day. Stroman trying to get through this inning quickly. A 585 is going to be another strikeout. So that's off of Stroman's card. Back-to-back Ks. Ends the inning, and the Braves go down 1-2-3 in the 6th. 1-0 is our score. Atlanta over Chicago. Maxwell Fried out again for the next inning, bottom of the 6th. He is at 18 batters also, and so let's see if he can push through this as well. 609 off the batter, or the pitcher card, is going to be a strikeout as Ortega goes down swinging for the first time in this game. Contreras up now, 835. 835 is going to be a hit, and then that's going to be a deep drive off of Contreras' card. A deep drive, it is a 983, and Wilson Contreras goes yard, oppo, and into the right field stands for a solo bomb, and that's going to tie up the game at 1 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Good tight one here. Got Seiya Suzuki with 2 strikeouts so far. 593 is going to be a third one, so he gets the hat trick. Second strikeout of the inning, but the Cubs have squeezed in a home run, and that's going to bring up Ian Happ. 762 to Happ is going to be a base knock. That's a 2-out hit for Ian Happ. He's 2 for 3 on the day, and Nico Horner stands in with 2 outs. This is going to be a 2-out hit, and did he drive one out? Nico Horner. Let's see, a 925. No, not quite. So that's actually going to be a triple, 2-out triple for Nico Horner as he hits that one off of the pitcher. Drives it into right field, and that's going to bring home a run, and that gives the Cubs a 2-1 lead. So quite a change of events here in the 6th inning as the Cubs put 2 on the board with the go-ahead triple from Nico Horner, the shortstop. Brings up Patrick Wisdom. He's 1 for 2 with a double. Sorry, should be a triple. And should be 2. 460 is going to be a line drive. That goes to 258, which is a liner to left field. So Wisdom gets behind one, but lines out to the left fielder, Duvall. The Cubs do put 2 on the board, and we are going to we're going to head to the 7th inning. 2-1 is our score. Cubs are going to send Stroman out there for one more inning. Let's see if he can complete. Everything's still on the screen here, hopefully. And let's see if Stroman can complete his circuit here. He's going to be facing Riley, Albies, and Ozuna. He's got a 2-1 lead in the 7th inning. And the pitch to Riley, 7-16 to Austin, is going to be a walk. So, never a good idea to walk the leadoff man. Nobody out, and 1 on. We got a 109. That's going to be a ground ball. Let's see what happens on this play. 207 is going to be a grounder to the second baseman. So let's check out our chart here. Got our second baseman here, and runner at first base. A 592 is going to be a 463 double play. So another just killer double play, as that's an automatic double play. As Albies grounds out, and they're now 2 down. That erases the runners off the bases. And Stroman just what the doctor ordered, as he gets 2 for the price of 1. 2 down now. 353 is going to be a fly ball. That's a fly ball to 444. Now we got a 3 of a kind here, so that's going to be an error, and that error goes to the left fielder. So the left fielder is Happ, and we're going to call that an E7. So anytime there is you're doing the player check and we've got a 4 or a 3 of a kind, we're going to assign an error. So tough one out there in left for Happ, and that's going to be a base runner with 2 down. Let's see if that comes back to bite Stroman and the Cubs, Adam Duvall. Duvall already 1 for 2. He had a solo home run his last at bat. This is an 801. 801 is going to be a hit off Stroman, so 2-out hit. And this is going to be a single, I believe. 1 to 524 is a single. With 2 outs, I always give base runners an extra base, so he goes first to third. And we got first and third with 2 down, and William Contreras. That's who it is. 547 to Contreras. That's going to be a strikeout as he goes through the pitch, and Stroman pulls a string on him, and he dances through that inning, having given up no runs. Big double play there to begin the inning, and avoids any damage from the error. We're going to have to bring in a relief pitcher here. We are in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Cubs are up 2-1. We're going to bring in... Let's bring in Dylan Lee, the lefty. Basically a 1-inning type of pitcher. Fried goes 6. Gives up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits, 2 runs. Looks like 1 walk, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Ks. So it closes the book on Maxwell Fried. 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts for the lefty. Stroman is going to be replaced in the next inning as well, but he did get through his 7 innings. So let's put one here, and it'll be Schwindel, Rivas, and Madrigal against Dylan Lee, the lefty. So remember, against left-handers, so against Rivas, he's going to have just the advantage right off the bat. So nobody out, and Frank Schwindel DHing in this one. He's over 2. 756 off of the pitcher is going to be a walk. So Schwindel draws the walk. Not a threat to steal, but we got Rivas up. Again, we're going to come off of Dylan Lee's card. So a 221 is going to be a fly ball. That goes to 997. That's actually pretty rare. That's going to be a pop-up to the pitcher, which doesn't happen very much. So we're going to go P1, and obviously no runner advancement on the pop-up to the pitcher. And so we have 1 out, and Nick Madrigal to the plate, 526. Again, we're using Yolmer Sanchez for Madrigal. So 526 is going to be a strikeout. First K of the appearance for Dylan Lee. It's 2 down now with a runner at first base. And it'll be Rafael Ortega. 696 could be trouble, but it's not. He's going to strike out. Actually, of course, it come up Dylan Lee's card because he is a lefty and Ortega's a lefty. So that's going to be a strikeout. 2 Ks in the inning for Dylan Lee as he shuts down the Cubs after the leadoff walk, and we head to the top of the 8th inning. Still 2-1 Chicago. Last game I played was 4-0. Of course, it was the no-no from Justin Steele, but played pretty well. Who do we go with here? I'm not super familiar with the Cubs. I don't have all their pitchers. So let's just go with Daniel Norris. Where are we? We're in the 8th inning. Let's go with Daniel Norris. And then don't know if I put that right or not. Sean Newcomb should be a lefty. Okay, let's get this figured out. So let's go with Daniel Norris. I assume that I made it right, that he's left-handed, but I don't really know. And Stroman goes 7 innings. He gives up 1, 2 hits, and 1 run. He walked 1, 2, 3, 4 batters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strikeouts. So, okay outing for him. Definitely goes into the clubhouse with the lead. So we got Daniel Norris up against the Braves, and he'll be facing off against Harris and then back to the top of the order. 334 against Michael Harris is going to be a fly ball, I believe. It is. And it is a fly ball out to left field. Can of corn out there in left for Hap, and that's going to be out number 1. 1 down in the Braves' 8th. They're down 1 run, looking for an opportunity here against the Cubs bullpen. 568 against Acuna. That's going to be a strikeout. Acuna, tough day. 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. This is definitely Acuna from last year and not this year. I can feel it when I play using his card. It's a little bit different. He had a down year after the surgery last year. And Swanson, last hope here for the Braves. That comes off the pitcher card. 129 is going to be a grounder. That goes to the shortstop. So Nico Horner over to the first baseman Rivas, and that puts away the Braves in the top of the 8th. Go to the bottom of the 8th. 2-1 is our score at Wrigley Field. Dylan Lee still in the game for the Braves. We'll leave him, as he still hasn't faced his... actually, he faced him, but he hasn't gone out past his stamina. So he's right at it right now. We'll give him 2 innings just for the sake of speed and time. I mean, he's a good pitcher too, but... So we've got Contreras, Suzuki, and Hap. 466 to Contreras is going to be a strikeout. That's out number 1. 3 strikeouts in the appearance for Dylan Lee. 138, that's off of Lee's card. That's going to be a grounder. That is hit to the shortstop. Up with it is Swanson, and over to first for out number 2. And last chance here in the 8th is going to be Ian Happ. Happ is 2 for 3. 130 is a ground ball. And that ground ball is going to go to the third baseman. So Riley, clean pick at third. Strong throw to first, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Dylan Lee. We head to the top of the 9th inning. 2-1 is our score. And who to bring in for the Cubs, I have no idea. We need to bring in somebody to save the game. And I don't know who their closer was. Let's see. I'll try to go by strikeouts. So, try to figure it out. Let's just go ahead and bring in Mark Leiter Jr. I don't know if he ever got in situations like this where he had save opportunities. But we'll try it out. Probably not. His stamina is 8, but he had some starts, I'm sure. So we got 1 inning here, and it's going to be 0s across the board. For Norris, good inning. And so we got a new pitcher. He'll be facing off against Olson, Riley, and Albies. So he's going to earn this one if he gets the save. And let's see if the Braves have a comeback in them. These are the comeback kids and it'll be Matty Olson. Olson 0 for 2 with a walk. 363 is not going to get it done. That's going to be a line drive to center field. Hit hard, but hit right at the center fielder Ortega, and that's going to be out number 1. Austin Riley to the plate. Riley is 0 for 1. He's got a couple of walks. 735 is just into the hit by pitch range. So Riley gets plunked, and he is at first with 1 out, and Ozzie Albies to the plate. Albies batting left-handed, and let's see if he can drive one here. A 506 off of the pitcher. That's going to be a strikeout. So 2 down. Drama ensues. Got the winning or the go-ahead run is at the plate in the person of Marcell Ozuna. Ozuna reached on the E7 to a hap in the last inning, and he's got a chance to put the Braves ahead here. 2-1. Leiter gets the out. He gets the save. Otherwise, we got trouble. 849. That's going to be a 2-out hit. A 447 off of Ozuna. That'll be a base hit. So Ozuna keeps the inning alive. Runners at first and third with 2 down. And Adam Duvall represents the last hope. He's actually 2 for 3. He's got a home run and a single in this one. And let's see if he can be the hero. 650 or 570 off of the pitcher, and he gets shut down by Al Leiter Jr. As Leiter comes in with the hard fastball and gets him. That's going to be the end of the game. Braves can't come through with a run in the 9th, even though they get a couple on, and they lose this one 2-1 to the Cubs. Let me pause this and I'll come back with the stats. All right, a well-pitched game here. Atlanta goes down 2-1 to the Cubs. 2 runs on 6 hits and 1 error for the Cubs. 1 run on 3 hits and no errors for the Braves. So combined 3 hits in 2 games for Atlanta coming into Wrigley Field. Tough stretch for them. For the Braves, had a lot going on in the 4th. Bases loaded, 1 out, and could not get it done. Hit into a 6-4-3 double play. Adam Duvall 2 for 4 with a home run. Accounted for the 1 run for the Braves. Not a lot of offense in this one. Fried goes 6 innings, takes the loss. 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk and 6 Ks. Lee with 2 innings pitched, only 1 walk and 3 strikeouts. So he held the Cubs at bay, but just couldn't get anything going against Stroman, who gets the win. 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 4 walks, and 7 Ks. So he danced around quite a bit of trouble in these middle innings, especially here. Got around this E7 on that got charged to hap. Norris comes in for the hold, 1 inning, 0s across the board, 1 strikeout, and then Al Leiter Jr. comes in for the save. For the Cubs, it was William Contreras, 2 for 3 with a home run and an RBI. Hap 2 for 4. The game-winning triple comes from Nico Horner, 2-out triple in the 6th inning, put the Cubs ahead for good, and they slammed the door on Atlanta. Again, this is using both this online dice roller and also sort of the new baseball game that I've been working on. You can see Arizona here and Atlanta. So you can see that there are defensive ratings here that come into play whenever you do a defensive check on either the range or the error or double plays. At this point, I just have double plays. Also have grounded into double plays. We didn't really have any of those checks in this game. We had 1 double play check. But you can see defensive stats are in green, and the offensive sort of base running is in purple. We have hard hit and barrel stats here, or rolls. Don't know how those are going to fit into everything yet, but there's going to be a more complex fielding system, if you can believe it. There'll be a more complex fielding system eventually that's going to use and utilize some of these values here. Again, these numbers here are for whenever the hit comes off of the pitcher card. Pitchers are graded out as well. There will be some extra things for pitchers too, and you can see I have all their starters here, and right now it's enough to do their starters coming off their cards and their stamina, and then we have all the charts here. So all the charts are there and ready to go. There's lots of interesting things that are coming on in here. You can see there are grounded into double play checks. There are also double play checks. So again, this is off the batter. This is off the guy who's catching the ball, the catcher. There are a couple of all safes. So basically, just pick up the ball. It's an infield hit, and everybody is safe. It doesn't happen very often. 30 chances out of 1,000 is not very much. And then there are some just kind of unusual plays in here, like a 2 unassisted. So runner at first and third, and the runner at third is coming home. It's a little tapper out in front of the plate, grabs it, turns around, tags the runner at first or at home. That's how you would get a 2 unassisted. He doesn't run down to first base. So he turns around, tags the runner who's trying to score from third. So there's a couple of like super unusual plays in here. A lot of these are the try for the ground ball double play. This is a throw to third base to get the runner at going from second to third. If there's less than 2 outs, then the runner would score, and then the runner at first would go to second, but you would get the runner at third base. So just some little things here and there throughout the way. There's a couple of like plays here. Runners at second and third. You go 3-5, so a ground ball hit to first base, 3, throw across the diamond to 5, and you're gonna get that runner over at third base. So maybe that's just the easiest play to be able to make that play. We got a 3-2, so that's coming home with it. Runner breaks for home. 3-2 is the out there. Another 3-5. So just this one is a check at home, so you throw it home, and then you have to do the base running tagging chart against the runner at third speed to see if he made it safely. So a lot of, just interesting. It was actually quite fun to come up with all the different little nuances and things that you could do with the different players. Here's a 5-3, so this is a throw across the diamond to first. And then the player on the throw breaks for third, so then you get a 3-5, so a throw back to third, and then you have to check and see if that runner made it or not. So kind of some fun little wrinkle plays like that just they do happen, and they keep the game interesting and give you some sort of unusual types of plays. There are 1,000 possibilities on every roll, so there's actually quite a bit to be able to choose from. Alright, so this game is not available, but I did want to make this first look just so that you can see what I'm working on, and if you would like to play some of these teams, I can send you a few out that are already graded, and you can play it a little bit and let me know like what can be made better and what can be improved in the game. I'm always looking to make these things better, flow better. I feel like the game is in a good place where you can play it and it doesn't feel like it drags on. It doesn't feel like it is overly complicated, but there are, sometimes quite a few moving parts. Yep. All right. The Clark and Addison Gaming Company is now up and going. You can go to clarkandaddisongaming.com. Clark and Addison with 2 D's. clarkandaddisongaming.com. No Huddle Football is now on sale. You can buy the 2022 season. So that was just released yesterday, and really excited about that one. I don't know. Hopefully, it's a brand new football game to the market that's not been there before. So it's not just a new season. It's a new game engine being released to the market. So hopefully lots of NFL football gamers will get out there and play that, and let me know what you think about it. more seasons will be coming for that. Even some classic seasons will be coming for that. And just in time for training camp, everybody's getting back and thinking about football now. We're about 6 weeks away from the NFL season beginning, and less than that for college. So football season will start to ramp up soon, and at least here where we are in the upper Midwest, cool weather is coming soon, probably, and we'll see how the NFL season turns out this year. We also have up-tempo basketball on the site that you can purchase, and also quick play baseball is fully on the site. There's some seasons for on base, the roster sheet sets, and I'll be continually adding more and more of the older games, the other games, to the website. So eventually I'm just trying to port everything over to one website. So clarkandaddisongaming.com. clarkandaddisongaming.com. And it'll be a more of a centralized experience. Same ease of purchasing, same delivery options as far as PDF, same ability to input codes and do all that kind of stuff. But your old codes won't work on this website, but any new sales or anything like that it's just going to be easier for me to manage everything in one place. All of the old URLs, I'm planning for them to work. So right now they're going to the old site still. So if you go to onbasebaseball.com, then that's going to go to the old site, which still functions, works. You can purchase everything just fine. But eventually I'm going to route that over to the new site, and you'll just go to the on-base page at clarkandaddisongaming.com. Hopefully this represents sort of a new era of discovery. Many people don't know that I have lots of other games. I have two basketball games, a football game now, been working on a golf game. I have multiple baseball games. So there's lots of different games to choose from, and they kind of are different styles and suit different styles of players. But one thing that hurts whenever you have like one over here, one over there, and one over there is that people don't know that they're connected. They don't know that they come from the same publisher. They don't know anything about how they are joined together with me. They're just kind of finding literally a needle in a haystack. So what I want to do is try to gather my needles together and make a bigger haystack, and maybe you can find more games to play that are sort of in the style of one that you already like from me. So I don't have a timeline or an ETA for this game, just kind of working on it, thinking through each of the steps, and it's quite detailed, and we'll get much more detailed as it goes along, and could turn out to be too detailed. I don't know, but if you're a detailed gamer, you like all of these, like figuring it out and thinking logically through, what's happening on the field, then this game is going to be really good for you. There are sort of quick play elements to it as well, where you would just be able to play a quick play game where you're not figuring out, maybe you have just some basic base running rules that you adhere to. You don't even necessarily have to go and find out which player caught the ball or anything like that. You can just do a fly ball out, ground out, etc., and just play straight off either the batter card, or you can play off of the sort of the batter hitter interaction, and just play off of the batter and the pitcher card, and just leave it at that. You can just play straight up. That's how the game started whenever I first made it. So that element is still there if you wanted just a super basic, really fast, but also quite accurate baseball game to be able to play. But if you want to add in base running and fielding and taking extra bases and stealing and stuff like that, there are, charts that you can add in as you want to. You want to just take some. You want to take them all, and get as detailed as you want, or stay as zoomed out and sort of high level as you want. So that's sort of the idea. That's what I want to bring to the table as far as tabletop gaming is concerned. There's not just two ways to play it. There's multiple ways, and you can figure that out. And maybe you want only part of your replay to be played a certain way and another part to be played another certain way. So just some things to consider and think about. And hopefully, this is what maybe the future of tabletop gaming. You get a little bit of customization that you can do within the game where you don't necessarily have to bring in homebrew elements all the time, but you can still treat it kind of like a homebrew game where you mix and match different elements. Okay, I think that's it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, this is the new channel for the Clark and Addison Gaming Company. So if you haven't subscribed, click subscribe. This is where all of the content is going to begin to go for all of my games. So whatever I'm working on new, any new releases, all of that's going to come through this YouTube channel. So if you want to stay up to date, you want to get new videos, just click subscribe. And then whenever I post a new video, you'll be notified, especially if you click that little bell icon. Then you'll get a notification either in your app on your phone or your device, or to your email, whatever sort of preferences you have set up. So yeah, I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your patience and just sort of seeing me create these games and go through the process. And thank you for everyone for your help and your support in making the games even better than, I only have so many ideas. So you're all helping to make the games a lot better with your suggestions and your playing and just letting me know kind of this is a good direction, not good direction, that sort of stuff. So I really appreciate it. And I think that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.